Hey guys, I'm here to show you guys the Lunalight deck profile that I play for YCS Montreal. For context, I only won 2 die rolls all weekend. Um, Before I get into the video, I want to give a few shout outs before we get into it. Before we get into the profile, sorry. Shout out God, shout out Team Interstellar, shout out my family. Without those three, I wouldn't be where I am today. Shout out the car, the people that drove down with me. Shout out Alex Malak, shout out Kevin, shout out Steve, shout out Hunter. Those guys were super supportive, and even though I chose to play my favorite deck of all time, and especially, very specifically, huge shout out to Georgie Koshko. We spent 2 hours in a call on Wednesday night trying to build a list, and I think this list performed really, really well. And then also shout out to Andrew Johnson and Nick Shepard on Team Interstellar. Without those guys, I do not think I come to the conclusion that we play hand traps in the main. I probably would have gone with a breaker approach, and I would have gotten hand loop for 3 against Mermail. And I think that was the correct choice. So without further ado, let's get into the profile. So, for the main deck, 3 Goldio and 3 Fractal. I want to spend a minute talking about these. Obviously, this is pretty standard by now. Goldio, obviously, being the best starter in the deck. That's what everybody says in the community, but I disagree. I believe Fractal is the best starter in your deck because Fractal doesn't use your normal summon. Fractal allows you to do some lines that aren't available, and Fractal also acts as an extender, while Goldio is only a starter. Again, obviously, in like some niche game states going second, you'd rather see Goldio than Fractal because Goldio can get you to Yellow Martin to search Lunalight Fusion to break the board. That's it for the 3-ups. I'll leave these on board for the next conversation I'm about to have. We're gonna talk about the new card. I played 2 copies of Scarlet Tiger. Scarlet Tiger is essentially a pure extender. It allows to special itself in 6 polymerization. You can chain block this if you go Chainlink 1 Silverhound, Chainlink 2 Scarlet Tiger. This is what allows you to play through Imperm on Goldio because, and people are playing Imperm this format. It allows you to play through Imperm and Purge and Ash. So effectively, if you open these two, you like play through every hand trap in the game. But I opted to play only 2 because it's not a starter. And if there were some niche scenarios where I would open Silverhound and it was great to have another search target, instead of just searching Black Sheep, I would search this and discard the Silverhound so I could chain block it. And even if I got hit with Droll, again, this was an extra body and it allowed you to keep the Spell Trap Negate with Silverhound live. That way you were able to play through like some massive boards. That's why I only played 2 of it. 3 felt cloggy. I know Georgie played 3 in his list, but I opted to play 2 because I think 2 is the right number. 3, it makes it really, really cloggy, and you play a lot less non-engine, while 2 is really, really good just because you have the Grave Effect. You can use it like mid-combo if you add... So if you fuse Black Sheep off into Liger Dancer and you go Masquerade 1, Black Sheep 2, you add back the Scarlet Tiger and then you add back Polymerization and then you pitch the Scarlet Tiger. And then Scarlet Tiger lets you revive another body and it allows you to fully utilize the Masquerade effect for essentially a fusion sub, which is really, really nice. And it allows to make the... Oh, one more point. So in the old Lunalight combos, you could always make 2 rank 4s in combo, but now with Scarlet Tiger, you're able to make anywhere from 3 to 4 rank 4s in combo, or if you needed to do 4 level 4s, this card enables that. So there's a card in the extra deck that I did play that required 4 level 4s. You can probably guess what it is. But yeah, that's why you play 2. 2 Kaleido Chick. Once again, this is the best. This is the best card you want to be looping. Non once per turn. 3 great effects. It's so good. 2 Silverhound and 2 Black Sheep. With the release of Scarlet Tiger, there's no need to play 3 anymore. Some lists did play 3, but you opt to play 2 just because I think it's really cloggy. And Scarlet Tiger, this Scarlet Tiger is effectively 5 copies of Polymerization because going second, being able to search a fusion spell is really good. For the 1-ups, 1 Martin, 1 Emerald Bird. These 2 were great all weekend. This just being able to search Lunalight Fusion, and then this being able to revive any of your banished Lunalight names is really good. I got crowed on one of my Lunalight names, and I was able to dump the Emerald on my Kaleido chick, and I was able to bring it back via Emerald Bird. It was really nice. The Pendulums, one Tiger, one Wolf. There's nothing new to be said about these guys. These cards were great all weekend. That's it for the monsters, and then for the spell traps, I chose to play 3 Masquerade and 2 Tanky. I made a judgment call that I thought Droll was going to be popular in the format, so I opted to play 3 of this instead of 3 of this because this doesn't lose to Droll while this does. And it just gave me the extra starter, and I wanted at least an 85% consistency rate when I opened my hands. I only bricked once all weekend. Well, I didn't hard brick, but I drew against KT player round 7. I drew 5 names, 2 of them being Silverhound, the other 3 being normal summons. So again, not great, especially when you get ashed and you have to pass your turn. But that's it for the starters. For the necessary engine pieces, you play 2 Lunalight Perfume, 1 Foolish Burial, 1 Poly, and the MVP from the main deck today is 1 Lunalight Fusion. Game 1, I drew this every time. It especially helps since I only won 2 die rolls. This just being an extra push when this gets negated is really good. That's it for the engine. Though again, as you guys clearly saw from my past lists, I value non-engine in my list. So I have to play 13, which was 3 Ash, 3 Fua, 3 Heavy Poly, 3 Impulse, and the last card was 1 Called By to make it 41 cards. Again, the goal is the same as always. Slow them down with these cards to put up a half board, and then slam this card down, and you just effectively win the game. Against KT, you can't really do that, but against like every other deck in the format, this theory still does work out. I didn't draw this. I drew this once all weekend, and when I resolved it again, I did win the game. And then Call By is just there because if people want to play Shifter, we auto lose the Shifter, so I just needed an answer for it in the main deck and an option for Call By. That's it for the main deck, guys. Let's get into this extra. For the extra deck, you play 3 of the girl. Again, this card's broken. This card's good. You play 3 for 2 reasons. 1, Cool Tune exists, and they can rip 3 cards out of your extra deck. And 2, if y'all don't know what Hyper Invoked Aeon does, that card is broken, and it rips 3 cards out of your extra deck at random. And they get to look at it. So I played 3. On the odd chance they rip 3 of this, it's fine because we go to plan B, which is 2 Leo Dancer. You only need so with Scarlet Tiger, and you don't need 3 anymore. You only need 2, and it frees up the extra deck. And in the 1 card combos, anyways, you only needed 1 to make double Liger, and the other one was just there for either crackback or if you needed to make this in a pinch. That's it for like the important ones. Well, I lied. There's one more important one. There is 2 Perfume Dancer. Shout out Kyle for getting me the secrets. They look amazing. If anybody has any secret Lager Dancers, let me know ASAP, please. But again, this card was good. The stat debuff effect never came up because most of the time I was just like killing my opponent through their board. And against Rolad, this card isn't as great. The graveyard effect isn't as good, but it did come up. I did out the Vanity Ruler effect with it. It was really nice. I think the play against the Vanity Ruler card was you go normal summon, send Kaleido, effect, lower everything's attack by its defense, and punch over the Trish, and then you can play in main phase 2. And then you have 1 Panther and 1 Saber. Panther came up because off Heavy Poly you need a target to make Leo, and Leo requires Panther, so you just play 1. And then Saber Dancer is really, really good in case, again, the plan is if you get Aeon and they rip through your Lager Dancers, you make this, and it's big as crap because it gains 200. Yeah, unfortunately it can't attack twice, but what you can do is you can double it with Dugaris, and you can if you stat debuff everything and then you double this attacks with Dugaris, this becomes like 10,000, and like you can just swing into one thing and you win the game. And the best part is this can't be targeted, so it's really, really good against like KT. It's good against Rolad because if you stick this on the board and it's really big, they can't out it. So that's it for the fusion monsters. For the XCs, You play Baguska. Oh, no, sorry, Tiger King and Baguska. These two have always been staples in the extra deck. This card is really good. Being able to blanket a whole board is just nice. And then Baguska is always part of your end board. Sorry, it should be like that. I made this card once today. Again, it also helped that I didn't win all my die rolls this weekend, so okay. Dugaris is for under draw lines, and then I chose to play Prime Mathematical Inversion. This was a mistake. I should never play this card. This card should have been nowhere in my list. Essentially, what you were doing is you can detach 4 to search any spell trap. Going first, you typically this is only for your siding, so you only search Mask Restrict, which is in the side deck. This was a bad idea. This should have been Outer Entity Nyarla because that allows you to trigger all your effects, or this should have been M7 because I think M7 lets you do some actual BS. And then Cross Sheep and SP to round out the extra deck. Alrighty, now for the side deck. Before we get into it, shout out Hunter for the field centers and shout out the boys for being on the tokens. Yeah. The side deck, 3 Perulia and 2 Droll. Logic was, this is against Mitsu, and this is for everything else because you want to draw cards and you want to draw into your broken cards. There's really not a lot of thought behind the side deck, behind those 5. 3 Foolish Burial Goods and the 1 Serenade Dance. This is just for going first. Lunalight's always had a particularly bad breaking problem. So to compensate for that, I would play more starters in my deck. But I didn't want to play like the extra tanky because, again, I fear Droll more than anyone else. So I wanted to play a starter that did not lose to Droll, and Foolish Burial Goods was perfect. I never came up. I never drew this, but what did come up, I drew this, but it ended up being discard fodder because I was able to play through his board without it. Serenade Dance came up because I hard drew Lunalight Fusion. I needed another search target, and I didn't want to get a warning. And I had this in my side deck, so I added it. And then I added the Poly from the graveyard, and I pitched this. And then I was able to banish this and pitch a card to summon another level 4 from deck, which allowed you to do the Alimberation combo. It was really nice. And then I chose to play Talent and Harpies. This card sucked. This card was awful. I drew this once, but it was in the game state where it never really mattered because I got freaking floodgated by the Ice Barrier player. Not Ice Barrier, the Montreal player, because I needed to out his Virtue Stream before I started playing because he ended on effectively nothing. So that's it for those. And then I chose to play 1 Mask of Restrict again. This should have never made it in my side deck. This card was really bad. I drew it once against a Mitsu player, and every time I searched it, it got outed really fast. And then for the last card, I chose to play Imperm. This was Alex's idea, Alex Monlack, the RB player. We decided to side this in for Rolad piles and for people ending on like some dumb BS like Spell Canceller, Arc Lord Christia, any pile deck essentially. And this is also another out to like the BLS monster because you can imperm the BLS. It becomes affected, and then you just battle phase punch. You punch over it, or you wipe the board, and then that's really what the main purpose was. It was for like dumb BS cards that you can't out normally. And if I sided this in more, I think I win more of my matches because round 1 I should have sided this in against the Mermail player. And he ended on the Ice Barrier Floodgate that says you have to set spells before you can activate them. And I think if I had this, all he ended on was literally the Virtue Stream, and it took his entire hand to do so. So if I went Imperm, Harpies, and I had Masquerade as the starter, I just won the game. But again, thank you so much for watching the video. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.